So here we are over in DreamWeaver. We've advanced, we've moved out of Notepad, which is actually not too bad, right? And we're now going to use the software from Adobe to help us create our web pages. And I've opened up DreamWeaver, and if you're opening up for the first time, I just have a new version, so I'm getting this interface here. It's asking you if you've ever used DreamWeaver before, and yes, I have, but I'm going to say no, I'm new, so I can go through the same interface exchange that you guys have. So I'm going to click on that. And the first thing is to ask you, would you like to set this up as a developer or standard? And we're going to choose the standard workspace. The next thing is it's asking what kind of color theme would you like? Would you like something that's like high contrast? So you can set this up however you want. I kind of have been always working with the standard white one. So I'm just going to choose that. You can always get back into the preferences and change those things later. And you're ready to get started. Start with a sample file, start with a new or existing folder. I don't have that. Start by watching tutorial. If you want to go ahead and start with a tutorial, you certainly could. I'm going to click on the start with a sample file. Okay. So, let's see, is it going to open up something for me? I actually have, from the last time I was working in DreamWeaver, I have a lot of things here. This is their sample file. I don't really care so much about that. We're never going to be working with their sample file. We're just going to use it to talk about the interface. So the first thing is to notice, at least the way I have it, and if you don't have it like this, I'll help you switch it around, is that there's one half that's design and one half that's code. We can control that up here at the top. You should see three options. One says code, and then that's going to change everything to be code. Oh, it's blocking this. I guess I'm allowing access. I'm not sure what that was for. Sync settings from previous versions of DreamWeaver were synchronized. Okay, so this is something I am going to get. You're not going to get this because you probably don't have previous versions of DreamWeaver installed, but okay, so back up to here. You're going to let me switch. Yes, so I'm switching to code up at the top here. And now my whole interface here is just the code. If I am in split, I can see the design. This is like supposedly how it looks on the website, and the code here. And if I switch to live view, then I get to start working with the code live, or working with things like I can edit the code in the design view at the same time. So most of the time we are, sorry, I'm going to switch to design view. In the design view, I'm just allowed to see the entire screen as just design, but most of the time we work in this split view. Now, I'm not crazy about this layout. I have worked with DreamWeaver for a lot of years, and maybe it's because I've been doing it for so long that I can't get used to the new change, but I like to have my code on the left side and my design on the right side. So I'm going to go up to View, and where it says Split, I'm going to change it to Split vertically instead of split horizontally. You are welcome to keep it split horizontally. This is just the way I like it. And now it put the design over here and the code over here. So I'm going to go back up to view and split, and I'm going to change it. I'm going to take off design view on the left. So now it switches it around. All right, so you're going to see my screen like that. So again, you're welcome to have it as a horizontal, but this is the way I like to have it. So up here in our interface, you have the things like file, new, save. We actually won't be using these things that much because I never want you to create a new document unless it's just like for one tiny little example from here. We're actually always going to be creating it from our files panel. And in terms of save, we're always going to be saving our pages, and I'm going to encourage you to use the keyboard shortcut Control S, so that way we're not going up here. We're saving our pages because you always have to save them to view them on the web. Something that's really helpful if you have like 7 pages and you want to be able to preview all of them. You don't have to save them all individually. You could do save all, and that saves all of them. That's kind of cool. Under edit, some things, just the basic stuff that you would expect to find. We already kind of looked a little bit under view, under insert, this is definitely helpful. We will be doing more of this, like by coding it ourselves. And so you can go ahead and look under here under tools and all those things. Under window, we have some different panels. You can see which panels are open. They're the ones that are checked. Okay, so we've already talked about this little bar over here. This stays in the same spot, so this is how it looks now that I've changed it vertically. And over here, just to point out, I am in the standard mode. So this is if I wanted to reset it from that original setting. Let's say if you hit developer by accident and you want to be in standard, that was the first question on that when we opened it, the opening screen. This is where you go to switch it to standard. Over here, this is where we're going to be working a lot, the files panel. So you can move these panels around. If for whatever reason you don't see files panel, you certainly should, but you can go up to window and make sure you've selected files. So this is the spot we will be working the absolute most. And then there are other panels and windows down here which will be changing and moving around. But as a get-go, it's mostly up here that we're going to be working with. This is our document area. So if I wanted to add something or start editing, as I was saying before, this is like the design view. I could edit here, or you can edit in the code, and either way, it'll show up on the other side. Okay, so that's it really for the interface. You can go ahead and explore, look at some of these other tabs. I will go over them all, throughout the semester, but this is really enough just to get you going for the first practice. All right, so hang on and we'll move on to the next tutorial.